Jamal Roberts had just dropped the biggest bombshell of his life, and it was causing a huge buzz everywhere. You won't believe what he revealed, but let me tell you, it was even bigger than his time on American Idol. Everyone was talking, fans and insiders alike were curious. What was this shocking news that could change everything for Jamal's career and the whole music industry? This was where it got really interesting. Jamal Roberts, known for his soulful voice and unforgettable performances on American Idol, had announced something so big that no one saw it coming. People started guessing, was it a new record deal, a major collaboration, or something completely unexpected? Whatever it was, it promised to change Jamal's path forever. To understand the weight of this announcement, you needed to look back at Jamal's journey. He first rose to fame on American Idol, where his talent and passion caught the nation's attention. Though he didn't win, his soulful voice and humble nature made him a fan favorite. His time on the show wasn't the end, but a beginning, a launching pad that opened doors many artists could only dream of. After American Idol, Jamal didn't just sit back and enjoy the fame. He worked hard, performing live shows, collaborating with well-known artists, and slowly but surely building a loyal fan base. But like many musicians, his road wasn't smooth. He faced the usual struggles, industry challenges, the pressure to stay relevant, and the constant need to reinvent himself. What made Jamal different was his determination and his desire to grow beyond the label of a reality show contestant. Now, this new announcement was about more than just music. Insiders hinted at a personal and professional twist that could change how fans saw him forever. After months of teasing, Jamal finally broke his silence with a statement that shocked many. "I have the biggest news in my life. Better than American Idol." Those words started wild speculation on social media, in blogs, and fan forums. But what made this story different was the scale of the news. Jamal was reportedly signing a major deal with a top music label, one that could take him international. This wasn't any ordinary deal. It included collaborations with some of the biggest names in the industry. The plan was to push Jamal into a spotlight he had been chasing for years. But here's the craziest part. Jamal wasn't just sticking to one style. He was blending his soulful roots with hip-hop, R&B, and even pop, aiming to reach younger audiences who ruled streaming platforms. Early demos had insiders raving about this new sound, predicting it could be a massive hit. And beyond the music, Jamal was also preparing a multimedia project, a documentary or reality series that would show fans the real story behind his journey, from American Idol to this turning point. This project promised a raw, behind-the-scenes look at his struggles, creative process, and the highs and lows of his life as an artist. But here is the shocking part. Jamal's announcement wasn't just about fame or music success. It also included his plans to focus on philanthropy, especially around mental health and music education. Having faced his own battles, Jamal wanted to use his platform to inspire others and give back to communities that had supported him from the start. This added a deeper meaning to his news, showing he cared about more than just his career. He wanted to make a real difference. The reaction was electric. Social media exploded with excitement and speculation. Fans shared messages like, "Can't wait to see Jamal's new chapter," and "He deserves all the success coming his way." Critics weighed in too, many praising Jamal's bold move and willingness to evolve. But here is where it got even more mysterious. Some insiders hinted that this announcement was just the beginning. There was a secret Jamal was holding back, something that could shake up not only his career, but the whole music industry's expectations of him. What was the secret? Why was Jamal so careful about the timing? And how would his loyal fans, who had followed him since American Idol, react to this hidden truth? The story was far from over. Destiny had taken an unexpected turn, and the next chapters promised to reveal the truth behind Jamal Roberts' biggest news. Stay tuned, because the twists were only just beginning. After Jamal's big announcement, the excitement didn't die down. It only grew stronger. But behind the scenes, things were not as simple as they seemed. While fans celebrated and the media rushed to cover every detail, Jamal was dealing with a storm of emotions. He had spent weeks preparing for this moment, but the pressure was intense. The new deal, the upcoming collaborations, the documentary, all of it felt overwhelming at times. He had to keep everything a secret, which was hard because some close friends and family didn't even know the full story. Jamal felt like he was living two lives, one on stage, shining bright, and another behind closed doors, carrying heavy burdens. One evening, after a long recording session, Jamal sat alone in his studio thinking about how far he had come. The road wasn't easy. He remembered the nights when he doubted himself, when rejection letters piled up, and when his dreams felt out of reach. But now, here he was, on the edge of something huge. Still, he couldn't shake the feeling that this wasn't just about fame or music anymore. There was a bigger truth he was scared to face, something tied to his past that he had buried deep. Suddenly, a message popped up on his phone. It was from an old friend, someone Jamal hadn't spoken to in years. The message was simple but shocking. "I know what you're hiding. It's time to tell the world." Jamal's heart skipped a beat. Who was this friend? What did they know? And how could they threaten to expose something so personal? This message opened a floodgate of memories. Moments Jamal had tried to forget. Secrets he thought were safe. As days passed, Jamal found himself haunted by this shadow from his past. He tried to focus on his music, on rehearsals and meetings, but the threat lingered like a dark cloud. His team noticed his growing anxiety and urged him to be careful, reminding him how fragile his new deal was. But Jamal knew that if the secret got out the wrong way, it could ruin everything he had worked for. The question was, should he confront it head-on or keep it hidden? One night, unable to sleep, Jamal called his mentor, a seasoned music producer who had been with him since the early days after American Idol. Their conversation was raw and honest. Jamal confessed his fears, the secret, and the message from his old friend. His mentor listened carefully and then said something that stuck with Jamal. "The truth might be scary, but living in fear will destroy you faster than any secret ever could. Sometimes you have to face the storm to find peace." This advice stayed with Jamal as he prepared for a major interview, his first public talk since the announcement. The world expected answers, but Jamal wasn't sure if he was ready to reveal the full truth. When the day came, he sat in front of the cameras, the questions coming fast and sharp. Reporters asked about his new music, the collaborations, and his plans for the future. But one question caught him off guard. "Jamal, there are rumors about a secret from your past. What can you say about that?" The room fell silent. Jamal looked around, his heart pounding. For a moment, he felt trapped. Then, slowly, he began to speak, not about the rumors, but about the struggles he had faced growing up, the challenges of staying true to himself in an industry that demanded so much. He spoke about pain, resilience, and hope without giving away the secret. His honesty moved many people, but the mystery remained. After the interview, the buzz only grew. Fans were inspired by Jamal's courage, but hungered for more. The old friend's message still loomed, and Jamal knew the moment to reveal. Everything was coming closer. What would happen when the secret finally came out? Would his fans stand by him, or would his world crumble? The second chapter of Jamal Roberts' story was filled with tension, hope, and the silent battle within. The next moves would decide if he could rise even higher or fall under the weight of the past. And just when everyone thought they understood the story, the unexpected was about to unfold. After that tense interview, Jamal's life changed in ways he never expected. The secret his old friend hinted at was no longer just a shadow in the background. It was about to step into the spotlight. One evening, Jamal received a package without a sender's name. Inside was an old photograph and a letter. The photo showed a younger Jamal with someone he barely remembered, someone from a time he had tried hard to forget. The letter was short but chilling. The truth will come out whether you want it or not. Be ready. Jamal's hand shook as he read the words. He felt exposed, vulnerable. The past he thought was buried deep was now threatening to explode. He tried to reach out to his old friend, but the messages went unanswered. It was clear now that someone wanted to control the story, not Jamal. The fear of losing everything, of being misunderstood or judged, grew stronger every day. The media started digging. Rumors began to swirl, and fans noticed Jamal becoming distant, quieter. His music reflected the pain and confusion he felt inside. Behind the scenes, his team worked hard to manage the crisis, but Jamal knew he couldn't keep running. He needed to take control before the story took over his life completely. One night, Jamal sat down and made a decision. He would face the truth himself on his terms. He arranged a live stream where he would open up about his past, his struggles, and the secret that had haunted him for so long. It was a bold move, risky but necessary. As the countdown started, Jamal's heart pounded with a mix of fear and hope. When the live stream began, thousands of fans tuned in, waiting to hear his story. Jamal spoke slowly, honestly, revealing parts of his life no one knew. He talked about mistakes he had made, lessons learned, and the pain of hiding who he truly was. The secret wasn't easy to say aloud, but with each word, Jamal felt lighter, freer. Reactions flooded in. Some were shocked, others supportive, and a few were harsh. But the overwhelming feeling was relief. Jamal had taken back control, showing his true self to the world. His courage inspired many who faced their own struggles in silence. Yet, even after this brave moment, new challenges arose. The person behind the threatening messages remained unknown, and Jamal couldn't shake the feeling that this was far from over. The story that had once been hidden was now out in the open, but the battle for peace and acceptance was just beginning. As Jamal looked ahead, he realized that his journey wasn't just about music or fame anymore. It was about finding strength in truth, standing tall despite fear, and learning that sometimes the hardest battles lead to the greatest victories. After Jamal's courageous live stream, the world saw a new side of him, a man ready to own his story, no matter how complicated or painful. But here's the shocking part. Just when it seemed like Jamal had faced his biggest battle, destiny took an unexpected turn. A mysterious figure from the industry stepped forward, offering support and a chance to rebuild his career in a way Jamal had never imagined. This offer was unlike any record deal Jamal had received before. It promised complete creative freedom and the resources to launch his multimedia project, the documentary and reality series he had always dreamed of. But there was a catch. The deal required Jamal to reveal even more about his personal life, including the struggles and secrets he had kept hidden. The craziest part was that this transparency could either make him stronger or break him completely. Jamal spent sleepless nights weighing his options. Let me tell you, this was not an easy choice. Accepting the offer meant risking public scrutiny, but also meant reaching a wider audience with his message of hope and resilience. Refusing it could mean losing a rare opportunity to change his career and inspire others in ways that went beyond music. But here is where it gets interesting. Jamal decided to take the leap. He embraced the challenge, knowing that this was his moment to rewrite his story entirely. The project launched with massive fan support, showing raw and honest moments from Jamal's life that many never expected to see. His journey through mental health struggles, battles with industry pressures, and his fight for independence resonated deeply with viewers. The music industry watched closely as Jamal's new approach blurred the lines between artist and advocate. His philanthropic work around mental health gained traction, sparking important conversations and inspiring young artists to seek help and speak out. What makes this story different? Jamal wasn't just chasing fame, he was building a legacy that mattered. The public reaction was overwhelming. Fans flooded social media with messages of admiration, calling Jamal a true role model. Critics, who once doubted his future, now praised his honesty and innovative spirit. Even skeptics began to rethink what success meant for artists today. Of course, challenges remain. Navigating fame while staying authentic was no small feat. Jamal faced moments of doubt, but he had learned that vulnerability was a strength, not a weakness. His music evolved with this new perspective, blending genres and stories in ways that captured the hearts of many. In the end, Jamal Roberts' story was no longer just about a singer from American Idol. It was about a man who refused to be defined by his past or by the expectations of others. His journey reminded us all that success is messy, unpredictable, and sometimes full of surprises. But with courage and honesty, it can lead to something truly extraordinary. So, what do you think about Jamal's incredible transformation? Could this be the future for many artists striving to be more than just stars? Drop your thoughts below because this story is far from over and the next chapter might just be the most exciting yet.